Welcome back to Inherited Dawn, a One Piece podcast. We are breaking down chapter 240 today, Dial Energy. And Robin, they did not waste a single second getting to the big stuff.
They really didn't. We've barely been in the sky for a day, and the fundamental laws of this world are already being laid out for us, and not just the laws of physics.
Exactly. We end this chapter with a direct warning about a forbidden holy land and the god who rules it. Nami, of course, has already gone there.
Of course. It seems to be a prerequisite for her. Find the most dangerous location on the map and chart a direct course.
She's got a sixth sense for it. If you want to make sure you never miss a revelation about a new god king or a forbidden island, maybe take a moment to chart a course to that subscribe button. We're trying to find all the secrets, just like Robin.
It's a worthy cause. The pursuit of knowledge is never ending.
All right, let's get into it. The chapter kicks off right where we left off, with Pagaya, Conus, and the crew on Angel Beach. It's idyllic, it's peaceful, the weird sky lobster is cooked and eaten, and then Pagaya offers Luffy a ride on his personal vehicle, the Waver.
And Luffy, being Luffy, doesn't ask for a lesson. He doesn't ask how it works, what the controls are, or what the potential dangers might be. He just sees a cool single-person jet ski, and his brain goes into what I can only describe as primal desire mode.
That is the perfect way to put it. There's no thought process. It's pure impulse. He just jumps on. He doesn't even sit. He just stands right on it, perfectly balanced, and immediately finds the accelerator. The confidence is unreal. It's not arrogance. He just assumes he can do it, so he does. It's the same way he approaches a fight. He doesn't wonder if he can win. He just operates from the position that he will.
Until he can't. He shoots off like a rocket, completely out of control, a plume of white cloud trailing behind him. For a split second, you almost think he's got it, and then he's just gone, flipping and crashing directly into the sea of clouds.
The silence after the splash is just perfect, and you get this great moment where Zoro and Sanji are just watching, arms crossed, and they're like, it's fine, it's a cloud, not the real sea. His devil fruit shouldn't be a problem here. It's what I was thinking anyway. It seems like such a logical assumption.
Which is a perfectly reasonable assumption. I'm sure many of us were thinking it. This is a new place with new rules. We've just accepted that clouds can be solid, that you can swim in them. It stands to reason that the fundamental weakness of devil fruits might not apply to this strange new substance.
And he immediately, brutally shuts that down. Nope. Luffy starts sinking like a stone. Same weakness, same rules, 10,000 meters up in the sky. It is such a brilliant move from a riding perspective. The stakes are instantly reestablished. There is no safety net here. This heaven can be just as deadly as the sea below. It might look different, but the core dangers of their world have followed them up here.
And what I find so fascinating is the crew's reaction. There's no panic. There's no, oh my god, what do we do? Zoro doesn't even hesitate. He just dives in, a perfect slice into the cloud, grabs Luffy and yanks him out. The argument they have right after is classic, but that initial instinct is what matters.
It's that crew first reflex. No questions, no pause, just my captain is in danger. And then, of course, the second Luffy is safe on the beach, sputtering, Sanji gets mad that Zoro beat him to it. It's perfect. It's not about the rescue itself, it's about the competition. Their rivalry is so ingrained that it even extends to who gets to play the hero first.
It's their way of processing the adrenaline. The danger was real, but it's over now, so they can immediately revert to their normal dynamic of bickering. It's a sign of their comfort and trust in one another. They know, implicitly, that if one of them can't act, the other will.
Exactly. It's that backup system. While they're going at it, Pagaya calmly explains that it takes years of dedicated practice to master a waver. He lays it out like this is some arcane master-level skill. You need to read the clouds, the wind, understand the balance. It makes it sound like becoming a Jedi. It's an incredibly difficult machine to pilot.
Which is the perfect setup for what happens next. The stage has been set, the difficulty has been established, an expert has told us point blank that this is nearly impossible for a beginner.
And right on cue, Nami just hops on. She doesn't jump, she doesn't lunge, she just gets on. gives it a little test push with her foot, feels the balance, and then glides away, perfectly, effortlessly, like she was born on it.
The look on Pagaya's face must have been something else. His jaw has to be on the floor. He just watched the rubber idiot nearly drown himself, and then this young woman comes along and masters his life's passion in about 5 seconds.
This is what I'm talking about. I love this moment so much because this isn't just the gag. This is a direct showcase of Nami's genius. Her entire life has been about understanding wind, weather, and currents. It's survival for her. Of course she can handle a vehicle that runs on them. It's an extension of her own senses. She's not just riding a machine, she's dancing with the environment.
It's a skill check, and she passed with a perfect score. It proves her value beyond just pointing the ship in the right direction. It's not just about reading charts. She can read and master the environment itself in real time. It's an intuitive, almost supernatural connection to the natural world. This is her devil fruit in a way, her deep, profound understanding of meteorology.
Super well put. It's not about strength. It's about a specific, honed talent that no one else in the crew has. Not Luffy, not Zoro, not Sanji. This is Nami's domain. So she just takes off, this beautiful full-page spread of her smiling on the waiver, leaving the boys in the dust to walk up this massive, heavenly flight of stairs to Pagaya's house.
And this walk, this mundane act of climbing stairs, gives Pagaya the chance for an absolutely massive lore drop. He's making small talk and asks Zoro if they came up via the Milky Road.
Which they did, that crazy vertical cloud river that the knock-up stream shot them into. And he just casually explains that those aren't natural. They're man-made channels, cut and shaped by a factory. A factory? In the sky? My brain just starts spinning with the possibilities. What kind of tools do you use to carve a river out of a cloud? How do you maintain it? Who works there?
That alone is fascinating. They have the technology to engineer and redirect clouds, to create infrastructure out of the very sky itself. But then he gets into the science of it, the fundamental why.
He lays it all out, and you can tell Oda has been waiting to share this. There are 2 types of clouds up here. Sea clouds, the white sea they're on, which behave like water, and island clouds, the more dense, solid ground they can walk on, which can support buildings and trees.
And the reason for this distinction, the reason any of this is possible, is a substance called Pyrobloin.
This is where my brain just lit up. My inner shipwright was screaming with joy. This isn't just, it's a magic sky island. Oda is giving us the physics. He's building the world from the ground up, literally. He's explaining the atomic structure of his fantasy world, and I am here for it. It's a real system.
And it's a system with a terrifyingly familiar origin. Pagaya explains that pyrobloin is a substance ejected from volcanoes. When it makes contact with water in the atmosphere, it solidifies and forms these different types of clouds. But the key detail, the one that changes everything, is that pyrobloin is a component found within sea stone.
Chills, just absolute chills. That one word, sea stone, it just recontextualizes everything. It connects this impossible heavenly place directly back to the greatest weakness of the most powerful people in the world.
Exactly. Think about what this means. Sea stone isn't just this rare, mysterious material the Marines use for handcuffs in prisons. We saw it in Alabasta, used to build a cage for crocodile. We thought of it as this highly controlled, almost mythical substance, but it's not. It's a fundamental mineral of the planet. It's a building block.
It literally creates land masses in the sky. It's not just a negating force, it's a creative one. That duality is incredible. The same element that can render a Logia user powerless can also be the foundation for an entire civilization in the clouds.
It recontextualizes everything we know about it. We thought its only property was to emit the same energy as the sea, to weaken devil fruit users. Now we learn it's a core component of the planet's geology, responsible for creating one of the most fantastical locations we've ever seen. The very air they breathe up here, the ground they walk on, is infused with the essence of their greatest vulnerability.
It also makes you wonder about the people who mine it. We know from Smoker that it comes from a certain country, though we don't know where yet. Do the people in that country know it can do this? Is this why the world government is so interested in controlling its source? It's not just for weapons and prisons. It's for this, for creating territory, for building new land. Think of the strategic value of that.
The implications are huge. The world government's obsession with controlling certain resources or nations could be tied to secrets like this. The entire ecosystem of Skypiea is built on the byproduct of the one substance that negates devil fruits. It's a beautiful and incredibly dangerous paradox, a paradise founded on a poison.
Man, I love it. I love when the world gets bigger and more connected like this. It makes everything feel so deliberate. Nothing is random in Oda's world. Anyway, they finally get to the top of the stairs and reach Pagaya's house, which is this cool dome-shaped building.
And as soon as we're inside, my eyes go right where my counterparts do, to the strange ornate shells sitting on the tables and shelves. She immediately asks what they are. She can't help herself. New knowledge is right there for the taking.
And here we go, our second huge tech reveal of the chapter. Dials. A whole new energy system. Pagaya demonstrates it by using a flame dial to light his oven. He just pushes the top and poof, a flame shoots out. It's so elegant.
It's a complete paradigm shift. He explains they use them to power his oven, his lamp, everything. It's Skypean technology, completely independent of anything we've seen in the Blue Sea. Down below, power comes from coal, from gunpowder, from electricity in some rare cases. Up here, it's stored inside shells.
Konis explains that the waver Nami is joyriding on is powered by a wind dial. You store wind in the shell and then release it for propulsion. It's so simple and so brilliant. It's basically a rechargeable natural battery. Imagine the applications. You could have a shell that stores kinetic energy or sound or light. The possibilities are endless.
And Luffy, of course, hears cool jet ski powered by a wind shell and immediately says, I want one! His desires are very straightforward.
This is a great Usopp moment, though. While Luffy is just thinking about the cool factor, Usopp's mind is working on a different level. He immediately remembers the wreck of the St. Brice they found falling from the sky way back before Jaya. He says they actually have a waver, but it's 200 years old and probably junk.
He's being pragmatic, the realist of the crew. But then Konis gives him this huge piece of hope. She says that as long as the shell of the dial itself is intact, it doesn't matter how old the machine is. It can still function. The energy storage is timeless.
You see the gears turning in Usopp's head. His eyes light up. This is his territory. A broken down 200-year-old piece of mysterious advanced technology. That's a dream project for him. This isn't just a souvenir. This is how the Going Merry gets a much-needed upgrade. This is how they can potentially even escape this place.
It's a potential game changer for their mobility, not just for the ship, but for individual crew members. I could imagine Usopp incorporating a wind dial into his slingshot, or Sanji using one on his shoes for faster kicks. The tactical possibilities are immense.
While they're all geeking out over the tech, we cut to the kitchen where Sanji's been cooking up a feast with sky ingredients. He brings it out for everyone, Mr. Prince in full effect, being the perfect host even in someone else's house. But he immediately notices someone is missing.
He does a head count, and his Nami sensor goes off. He can't see her anywhere outside.
Luffy's just like, don't worry about it, she's probably fine, in that classic unconcerned captain way. He has absolute faith in his crewmates' ability to handle themselves. But Konis and Pagaya, their reaction is completely different.
They look terrified. The friendly, welcoming expressions on their faces just evaporate. Hoo-hoo-hoo, it's quite the dramatic shift.
The mood just plummets. 1 second, it's a happy-go-lucky info dump about cool new tech. The next, it's pure dread. They ask which way she went, and Usopp points. Pagaya's face goes white. He explains that there is an area near Angel Island where no one is ever allowed to go.
A forbidden territory, and if you enter it, not even God will forgive you. What a chilling phrase. It's not just that it's against the law, it's positioned as a divine sin, an unforgivable transgression.
And the name of this place? Holy Island, Upper Yard, the place where God himself lives.
It seems Nami on her Joyride has reached it. The final panels show her landing the waver on a shore of solid island cloud, looking up at a dense, dark jungle, a place that feels ancient and different from the peaceful Angel Island.
What a cliffhanger. We just learned the physics of this place, and now we're learning the politics and the religion of it all in one sentence. We have a new antagonist, and he's literally called God. The power ceiling on that name alone is, well, it's as high as you can get.
That term is so loaded. Is it a self-proclaimed title, a way to instill fear and obedience? Is it a true deity that the Skypians worship and this is its sacred ground? Or is it simply the name of a tyrant who rules from on high? History is filled with rulers who have claimed divinity to legitimize their power.
Either way, he has a holy land, and our navigator just trespassed on it with a stolen jet ski. The crew have been here for maybe a few hours, and they are already on a collision course with the highest authority in the sky. This is what One Piece is all about. This is super.
It's the classic Straw Hat entrance. Announce your arrival by accidentally, or in some cases purposely, breaking the most sacred law of the land. They have a talent for it.
They wouldn't have it any other way. They attract trouble, like you attract poneglyphs.
It sets the stakes for the entire arc in one clean moment. We now have a destination, Upper Yard, we have a motivation, rescue Nami, and we have an antagonist, God. We know where they have to go, and we know who they're going to have to face to get Nami back.
And to get whatever else is up there. You know Luffy's not leaving until he's seen everything and punched God in the face if he has to. He hears, "You're not allowed to go there," and all his brain hears is, "That's where the adventure is."
Speaking of God, we'd love to hear your thoughts on this reveal. Let us know in the comments who or what you think this god of Skypiea really is. A man, a myth, something else entirely.
Yeah, hit us with those theories. We want to see what you got. Okay, Robin, let's get to it. Predictions for Chapter 241. What do you have for me?
My first prediction is that we will not immediately see a confrontation. The next chapter will focus on atmosphere and exploration. We will follow Nami as she explores this holy island, and it will be revealed to be a remnant of the Blue Sea, a piece of land from below, soil and ancient trees, carried into the sky.
Oh, like a chunk of Jaya itself. I like that. The Verth that Cricket was looking for. It would be the ultimate irony. He spent his life searching for a city of gold in the sea when the landmass it was on was shot into the sky. That's a great theory.
Exactly. My second prediction follows from that. I think this god is not a Skypian. He's an outsider, like the Straw Hats, who came here at some point in the past and took over. He's using superior technology or perhaps a powerful devil fruit that seems godlike to the natives to install himself as an absolute ruler. The title God is not a religious one, but a weapon of control.
A false god, a usurper. That feels very One Piece, a tyrant hiding behind a divine title. Okay, my turn. Prediction 1. Usopp, with Pagaya's help, is going to get that 200-year-old waver working by the end of the next chapter. He's going to tinker, he's going to freak out, he's going to call himself Captain Usopp, but he'll get it running. It's going to be old and clunky, maybe held together with duct tape and dreams, but it'll run, and it's going to be his signature vehicle for this arc.
A personal ride for the sniper. It would certainly improve his mobility on the battlefield. I could see that.
And prediction 2, we're going to meet God's enforcers before we meet the man himself, a group of priests or warriors who are sent to deal with Nami's trespassing. They'll show up at the end of the chapter as she's exploring Upper Yard. They won't necessarily fight her, but they'll appear and we'll see that they have a strange, unique design, and they'll demonstrate a new fighting style, probably also based on dials.
The introduction of the arc's primary combatants, the CP9 or the Baroque Works officer agents of Skypiea. It's a logical next step to establish the threat.
Exactly. We'll see their power level and understand the kind of threat the crew is up against. And it's not going to be simple. It's going to be weird and new, just like this island, and I can't wait to see it. All right, that's all the time we have for today. Join us next time as we see if Nami survives her little field trip into the divine territory.
Until then, keep searching.
And stay super.